Welcome back to the living room, guys. As always, I'm your cousin Kayla.
And I'm your cousin Chloe.
And today we are here to talk about some more black.
So, our first topic today is going to be the cosplay of blackness, but more specifically, white women cosplaying blackness. So, of course, you already know I'm coming with the history every time.
Always. Why not?
So, for a little historical context, we're going to talk about minstrelsy and blackface. So, minstrel shows, those got started in, I want to say, the 1940s or maybe even like the 1800s, like the late 1800s. Like, fact check me on that, Google it. But the father of minstrelsy, his name is Thomas Rice. And essentially, like, I felt like this was necessary to bring up because entertainment relied on blackness.
Right.
Like, entertainment really relied
It still does.
And it still does to this day, honestly. And I feel like it's ironic to, like, come from minstrelsy shows and things like that and, like, entertainment basically degrading us.
Right.
To now people trying to cosplay blackness as, like, this is the cool thing to do.
Like a trend.
Yeah, like, it's a trend. Like, it's trendy, it's cute, it's funny. Like, everybody want to do it now.
And the history of blackness is way deeper than it being trendy.
Right.
The nails, the baby hairs, the jewelry,
everything.
It's a lot. It's culturally relevant to us.
Literally. And it's like, like during minstrelsy shows, it's like they weren't even really like depicting blackness for what it was, like they're depicting us as caricatures, as servants, basically just depicting us as how they view us through their gaze, and it's just like
the mammy,
the
Jezebel, the mulatto,
the shook and jiver, all of that. And it's just really ironic.
The Uncle Tom.
It's just really ironic to me how it's like, are y'all not forgetting y'all roots? Like, y'all don't remember y'all used to be making fun of us? Oh, black
for the big butts, the big lips.
Oh, now everybody getting lip fillers.
Right. And it's dangerous.
Like, hello?
It's dangerous.
Like, literally what is going on?
And it is so frustrating to see people have these, I don't even want to say takes, because I feel like if you not skin folk, you really shouldn't have a take on something like this to even be telling us that we shouldn't be outraged about something like this. Literally. Because this was the whole thing that happened on TikTok when that girl did her dance on TikTok.
Ooh.
You don't remember when she did the girl who did her dance to that song, and then like Charlie D'Amelio and them, they went on there and they started like profiting off the dance?
Yes. Okay, no, yes, I remember that. And it's crazy.
Her name was Jamila.
Yeah, she still didn't get her credit, like, to this day.
No, she did. She got her credit from the artist, and then when they put it in Fortnite, they also credited her because it was so much outrage. Fortnite? Yes, it was so much outrage.
Are y'all seeing how blackness moves the world? Like, literally how black creativity.
And it happens time and time again. Like, even still on TikTok now, like, we have girls, and there's this one, I wouldn't even call her influencer. She is just the daughter of a famous drummer.
Okay, right.
From a,
from a famous band.
From a band, when you close your eyes and open them through the day, that's the name of their band. Like, it starts with a B. And his daughter, she goes on there and she cosplays, and she had a black best friend, and I feel like that was her inspiration for what she did, and that friend is no longer
in the picture, clearly. And it's just so ironic to me, honestly. It's like, once the other, in this case, the other being white people, once they find out that things that black people are doing are profitable, it's like, oh yeah, we on that. Like,
to say that too, there used to be, to talk about the bonnets from the last episode, because there was, back in the day, they used to, black women, when they were free back in the 1800s, they used to,
because that was literally next on my thing. That's what I was gonna say next.
Yes.
Go ahead.
They would decorate their hair in jewels and barrettes and things like that to show that they were free. Like they were, right. This is how they expressed their beauty. And white women were so upset that they were getting so much attention that they legit put in law and ordered them to wear head coverings, scarves, and bonnets. And because they were like, okay, so we'll just wear the scarves and bonnets and put jewels on that too.
Like, we still gonna put our own twist on it. We still gonna make it look
and
good.
Then it got so big that like the queen from somewhere was like, I like those scarves and those head coverings. Like I'm gonna, and she was a white woman and she made it trendy. And then it was it was a trend to, but like, and then to go from having that to be so big to coming all the way down for now we're unkept. Yeah. It was like, It's always that. It's the ghettoification of things.
The hypocrisy and the ghettoification of everything. And then it's like the pipeline from ghettoification to appreciation needs to be studied. Like, it really needs to be studied, because it's like,
it's not even it's not even to appreciation. It's to the appropriation to then us fighting for the appreciation, right? Because this is not all the things that are happening now are not new. Right. When the Chinese slippers started trending,
oh my God, girl! Like, you mean the dollar slippers my mommy and all my aunties used to be wearing?
Right,
girl, please. Because why did I see like some brand selling them for like $300?
And I'm just like, and it's not, it's all around. It's even in like the big brand, Gucci, YSL. Like, y'all are all sitting there like,
you know what? Hell yeah.
Right. We're going to take that.
Somebody said, write that down.
But it's a problem. And then people who call it out, the black women that call it out online, it's like, you shouldn't be outraged,
bitter.
right?
Oh, you're outraged. Oh, it's
why can't you share?
Why can't white women get braids? Why can't? And it's like, honey,
why not? This is my, and then it killed me with the Viking thing. That is.
Back in the truck and the thing, like, girl.
No, that's not how the Vikings wore their hair. Right. And it kills me because why now all of a sudden, oh, it's Viking hair. That was
just like how the edges were sticky bangs.
And it kills me because they really try to sit there just like, oh my God, they really try to sit there and make it seem like this is what I was doing.
This is a revolutionary thing.
Not even that it was new, but like, no, I wasn't trying to copy you guys. This is how the Vikings were. Like, you want any excuse to do it, and I'm tired. And really we need to we need to gatekeep. I'm so tired of us sitting here talking about something like, well, we don't share, we're not gonna progress. We shared. Have we progressed, y'all?
No. Like, we need to start gatekeeping the blackness.
Because no other culture is scared to gatekeep. Like, we call out every other culture when we're sitting here and they're getting appropriated. We sit there and we call out every other culture, whether it's Indian, Middle Eastern, Asian, Hispanic, every other culture. We be like, no, that is not your culture. Stop doing that, because it has cultural relevance.
People be coming in the kimonos. We be like, oh no, that's not okay. But then
they coming in here with bonnets. It's like,
and a bonnet, and
it's like, oh no, like she just wanted to. No, why do we keep doing that? Because it's not what it is. It's not, and it start at them beauty supplies with them. I'm gonna digress.
But honestly, I really do think like some black people be like letting white people slide with that stuff because they want the validation. Like, they want the validation from white people, or like, you know, when white people have black friends, you know, like the girl that we mentioned earlier who be on TikTok uncovering her bonnet, and she had a black friend and all these things. It's like they think that, oh, because I have a black friend, it's like I have a pass. Like, you know, like, oh, but my friend is black. Girl, what does that mean?
Have to do with anything.
Like, what does that have to do?
That's like them saying like, oh no, I can't be racist. Like, my grandchildren are black, and it's just like,
okay, but you're not.
You're not,
and you don't have that same experience.
That's a very odd thing to say.
No,
it is. Odd. It's very odd. That's a very odd thing to say. Right, because if I'm sitting here like, don't say the N-word, and you're telling me, no, it's okay. My son's black.
Is black. Okay, but what are you?
Right? And I'm sitting there like, okay, so
I'm sitting here dumbfounded, trying to.
I'd be like a Zaya Banks. Now what?
So
what now? Like okay.
But no, yeah, that is true. And like a lot of the times people be trying to like mask it as like, oh, you know, we're just appreciating the culture, we're appropriating it. Like, a lot of the times I see like white creators come online with braids, like knotless box braids, and they're like, oh, like, why didn't anybody tell me that my hair was gonna fall out? And it's like,
that's the rage bait. I was gonna say that too.
And it's just like
the rage baiting.
And it's like, we all like, well, not we, because I be clicking not interested. But
like, with the quickness, get that right up out of here. I ain't finna sit here and
because it's like that's what they be wanting.
They do the rage bait, engage, and be like, girl, no. Now we be like, and I love it now because now we be like, girl, get them braids, and then like even if
like, girl, get a relaxer. I mean, like, you know what you should do? Get the olive oil
and make sure you let it sit overnight.
Get the box, right? regular strength,
yes,
or high strength if you see that one too, right? No lie.
The higher the better.
The higher the better. And then you're just gonna slap it on. You're gonna cream it on, smooth it on.
And girl, get that bonnet too.
Okay, get the bonnet
And
let
overnight
it. Deep condition.
Sleek. But it's so many too with the whole thing with the black fishing. So that's the practice of trying to give the impression that one is a black ancestry and they're not. And the black fishing thing kills me too, because even there was another girl on TikTok too. I think she has a podcast, but she was on like Bad Girls Club. Mm-hmm. And she was like, first of all, she was in an all white girl group. Let's start there. When she first came out. Let's start there. And then she came on here like, why y'all mad at me? And mind you, she was on a podcast with her friend, and her friend was laughing. Her black friend was laughing at her, like, because girl, when she was mad at her friend, like she stormed off. But it's like, then she was like, my grandpa is black. Why do y'all have to stop using that as a defense? Like, really?
Your grandpa is not your meal ticket into blackness.
And and it's like a big thing because a lot of these influencers, like you could tell, like a lot of them be like down south too. Like the other two, like they're from down south, and they, I don't know what, mind you, I'm Southern, yeehaw,
yeehaw.
But my family, like we don't play that. We don't act like that. Like we do not. It's a big thing, like when you go down there and you're not a person of color, for you to say the N-word. No, like, yeah, because it's like you're turning heads when
you breaking necks.
Yeah, and I know it's a big thing up here, up north, where we in New York, where a lot of different.
And that be killing me, like,
because I still say something. I'll be like, don't say that. Like, no. Like why? Like it. Because you could have said anything. You could have said bro. Like y'all scream it more than me. Anything. And like, I don't
Like how? Like literally how? Like, and then they'll try to be like, oh well, like I didn't mean it like that. If something it doesn't matter, right? If you're not using something frequently, it's not just gonna come out accidentally. Right. You know what I mean?
And even if it wasn't an accident, you didn't mean it like that. I always be like, I know how you meant it, because I truly understand how you meant it. However, stop saying that. Stop saying it. What are you saying it for? That's my next question. Why are you saying that? No, what are you saying it for?
Like, why do you feel comfortable saying that? To which they might reply, "Oh well, I have a black friend, you know."
Are you? Okay, then that's my next. But are you? Right. And if you're not like Jocelyn Hernandez, like I'm a black girl. I'm a black girl. I'm a black girl. If you're not acting like that, I don't want to hear it. Cause
I don't.
I could be real.
But like, to go back to your blackfishing point, like I think it's important because a lot of the times people think blackfishing is just like what you looking like. Right. You know? And it's like it goes down to your language too. Like,
yeah, it's because you could tell
that Ebonics. Child,
you could tell.
This my juice. Please. This my cookie. This my juice.
And you could always tell who they get the inspo from.
Right, because we know who that girl got her cookie and her juice from.
She was like, "Oh, on fleek."
Oh,
on
God.
fleek, and I hated that whole on fleek thing. And that all started with I'm a bleep their names out, but it happened with the Kardashians and that family, because when. Number one, she had an alter ego, Chloe Money. Oh, like child. I was confused. She had an identity
crisis. I'm not gonna lie.
I was confused. Like she was really out here thinking, and you know who her inspo was?
Oh, baby.
Right. And she is still there, oblivious that she was the inspo. All of them have their inspo.
They all do.
We had Jordan. We had Malika.
Child. And her sister. She had double.
Like there's always Ariana, Victoria. It's always right next to them, and you sit there and you be like, "This is my best friend. I love her, and I would die for her." And I would
like, no, baby, that's your muse. That's
right. Like you trying to steal that girl's skin and wear it like it's yours. And my other thing is why y'all are obsessed with us if y'all don't even like us.
Question.
The same thing that happened with Central C. You did not. You did not sit there and say that you made Nike text trend.
What?
Yes, he said that. Yes.
This is news to me. Who
yes.
Like, no way. Like, are you serious? Your beans on toast?
Yes. He was sitting there like, I made Nike text trend.
Maybe beans and toast.
Where?
Maybe beans and toast.
That still ain't trended.
But... you know what I mean?
Stop doing that, because that was black men, and that's another thing. Black men, y'all need to start calling out when y'all are, and I know it's harder for y'all because as black women, we gonna do it. But y'all know y'all be around certain people of different cultures and different ethnicities. Call it out. Like, take your credit back, black man. You started that. Right. Y'all popping as hell, and we know y'all are.
Right.
I ain't never been mad to say it.
Love you. But
right, let's get into Because segueing off of that, and what else is like a big problem with not calling that out is deep rooted in the white supremacy, and then that leads us into the colorism.
Internalized racism, man. Internalized racism, Exhibit A. Literally, like, more history for y'all, because y'all already know. Y'all know I'm coming in with the history. Gotta get some tea for this one. But, you know, just a little historical context about colorism. Like, I feel like a lot of the times people don't think back to where this dynamic of colorism even stemmed from. And it's like, and ding, 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 you guessed it. Slavery, right? Am I right? Yeah.
And that's important.
And it's like, that's very important to note because, like, it came from somewhere. And we always need to keep in mind that, like, things don't just be coming out of nowhere. So, during slavery, as y'all may or may not know, or as you may or may not know, they had house slaves and field slaves. So like field hands, house slaves. And typically the slaves that were in the house were mulattoes. And mulattoes are basically, you know, when you're mixed with black and white.
And that's also a derogatory term.
Right. Derogatory term as well. We're not even going to get into the artistry.
I'm not going to talk about that because we know why she changed that.
Yeah. But that was basically what the dynamic was. Mulatto is not a good thing to like identify as. It's a derogatory term. However, mulatto slaves were sold for more at slave auctions. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah. Like mulatto slaves were literally sold, like they were more profitable than like dark-skinned slaves.
Really?
Yes. Like I was doing some research and I saw like a sale, like an auction.
Wow.
And they literally like identified them as like regular Negro slave and then like mulatto slave. Whole time being a mulatto is evidence of a crime.
We said that.
Literally evidence of a crime.
And it truly is. And everybody was just like that.
No, right. Everybody's like, oh my God, you're so light skinned. I love your hair. It's so like, oh, it's so nice and like thin and, you know, loose. And it's like, yeah, it's a crime. Thanks.
And I hate the way that colorism plays such a big part on our community as people because it really takes away from the talent. It takes away from the education. It takes away, and it's just so ignorant because I'd be like, Normani should be bigger.
She should.
Like,
she is a talented girl.
I feel like I'd be dying on hills where I'm like, Normani is, and I'm not even trying to big her up. Like, that girl, she's taking steps like Beyonce. And even Beyonce, like, you know, she's palatable. She is. She truly is.
And it's like, it's nothing wrong with that necessarily, but like.
But also Beyonce be like, I'm black.
No, right. But she don't be letting people forget. Because I think a lot of the time, sometimes like.
They think that people of a lighter complexion is going to try to assimilate to that. And they be very surprised when they be like,
it's like, okay.
Yeah, because I be hearing that too. Like, the things that people say.
Ciao.
And I'll be like,
like, what do you mean?
What do you mean by that? Because that's not.
Like, I've heard.
That's actually not okay.
Say like, oh, I'm not black. They be like, I'm not black. I'm light skinned. The truth. Oh.
Because what is that? And it plagues our community so bad because you have to sit and you have to. That's the same thing with the identity crisis that we talked about, the imposter syndrome.
Girl, literally,
because they be shell shocked, like on the TikToks again.
No,
like my skin color is this, but my hair texture is. No, did you not think you were black?
Literally, one time I saw a TikTok of this light skinned girl crying because.
Yes, in the car.
Yes. She was crying because her hair was not like
the texture that it was supposed to be. And my thing is, what texture was supposed to be, baby? You are black. What was the texture supposed to be? Answer me that.
And she was really in there
crying. Mind you, grown. Like you had this hair all your life. You wasn't sitting there like, I overprocessed my hair and now I'm so sad. And I'm
like, baby, that's your natural hair.
And then that also took away from black men too, because that's when we got into the whole, oh, you acting light skin and then you sensitive and you right.
You cry, baby, if you crying, you a Drake type of dude.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And black men,
Drake.
yeah. Not too much justice.
Not too much justice. Actually, take that out.
Cut the cameras.
Cut the cameras for real.
But yeah, like that started to take a big toll, I feel like, on black men, because now that it fostered a place of hypermasculinity.
Yes, no, that is so true. And it's like that's allowing for like this toxic masculinity to continue to happen, because like men especially, well, it's like when we're talking about the concept of gender in itself is a performance and it's a learned behavior, but it's like on top of them performing as a man or performing whatever masculinity may look like to them, they feel a little like self-conscious in a way. Like
yes, they
can't take a break from their performance.
Right.
To, like, feel a feeling, like have an emotion. Like,
they have to stick to
they
this.
Have to stick to being
right.
Like, oh, I'm a man. Rah!
Right.
And it's
we already know that though.
Right, like we know that.
Like we know that you're a man. And the colorism that, and I feel like it plays a big psyche, I feel like, for men, because it's like they are so deep rooted in self-hatred, I feel like, a lot of times, and they do not know.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. Like the self-hatred is definitely, sometimes it's subconscious, sometimes it's conscious, you know, but like a lot of the times I feel like it's subconscious, and that's, child.
I think it's a big problem.
That's why sometimes black men do not like to date women that look like them.
Yes.
Because it's like I've literally heard black men say, like, I'm black already. What I need a black girl for?
Right.
And it's like, oh.
And it's sad.
Like, it's sad.
And it's
Your
sad.
mother is black.
Thank you.
Your sisters are black.
Thank you,
Your aunts are
aunties.
black. Your grandmother. Why do you not want to see that reflected back to you? Internalized racism, everybody.
And the white supremacy done their big one again. Round of applause to them.
Round of applause. White supremacy. Come on.
And it's sad. And it's such a big thing within the black community too, because we look at that as being more desirable.
Yes.
And it is truly not the case.
It's not the case. And
it's factually not the case, because there's so many girls out there of a lighter pigmentation that just walk around feeling like,
oh, I'm light skinned. I got it in the bag.
And this goes all the way back to, like, that's how it is in South Africa. Like, you know, like with the apartheid, and like it's so deep rooted, and it's something that we definitely need to get out of, because if we're gonna sit here and talk about racism, then why are we sitting here doing colorism within our own community? Because your pigmentation doesn't have anything to do with who you are as a person and who you should pick to, you know, have a family with, have a life with, who you should be friends with. And that's the same thing on the other realm of the spectrum. Just because somebody is darker doesn't mean that they're aggressive and they're mean and that they're brute and that they're
literally, or that they're lazy or that they can't do this. Or child, like colorism, it's the fact that like colorism has become sort of like synonymous with like your self-worth.
Right.
You know, like people really be feeling like your self-worth or like your dignity is reliant on how light you are. Like, do you know of the baby doll test that they were doing?
Yes. Oh my gosh, which doll is beautiful, and it's sad to watch.
It was so sad to watch that. So for the audience, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, the baby doll study was a study done. It started in the 1940s by two psychologists. Their names are Kenneth Bancroft Clark and his wife Mamie Phillips Clark. And essentially, it was a experiment where they had a black doll and a white doll, and they had black children come in, and the study was basically to see like which doll they
thought was desirable, right?
Was desirable. So they were asking them questions like, "Oh, which doll do you think is nice? Which doll do
you think is pretty?
Which doll do you think you want to play with?" And like by a landslide,
they all picked, and they were side by side, a darker complexion doll and a fair skin complexion doll, and every time the little and the young black girls, babies, would come in and they would pick the fair skinned doll.
And these are children. Like these
babies.
Kids were not even like in double digits.
Yes.
So it's like, do you see how
deep rooted
this is? Like from young, it's like you're conditioned to believe.
And then we don't see that representation
in media.
I love Zendaya down,
but
we know why she got as far as she did. She's palatable. She's marketable. And I know she says it, because Zendaya is very black. She'll say it. Oh, yeah, and she said that she's like, yeah, like, no, I don't play that. Like, you're not gonna, like, she was like, yeah, I fired a publicist because she told me not to, like, you know, say anything about my makeup because I was the first black person on the cover of Teen Vogue. And she was like, yeah, I'm not working with her again.
Yeah. That's real. That's real of her for like speaking up and like
even Amanda Sterling. I don't know if you guys know that actress. She was in like The Hunger Games. She was in Bodies, 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 The Hate You Give. She was in that movie, and she said that she turns down roles that she feels like, you know, that they're giving to her based off of how she looks, and she knows that there's talent out there. Yeah. Look a little bit further. Literally. Look a little bit out of your bias, because that's what it is.
Because people be having a lot of bias and they don't realize it, or they do realize it and they just refuse to
do anything about it.
Yeah, which is kind of insane. Which kind of leads me into my next topic of how we need to gatekeep our blackness. You know, we need to stop seeking external validation.
This should hear me out.
Yes, this is my hear me out. So hear me out, y'all. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. The cookout don't exist. Okay? The cookout does not exist. Okay? And what I mean by that is,
right, let's elaborate.
We need to stop inviting white people to like this imaginary cookout.
I believe
when they do something like merely,
it's nothing. They do something normal. Like they could line dance.
Oh my God, you danced on beat. Wow. What?
I'm inviting her to the cookout. Like that. Why is that the first thing we always say? Like, and mind you, they're not even sitting there talking about y'all need to start fighting for these people. They're not even politicians or nothing. It's a girl that could just rap the whole Lil Baby song.
I literally saw a cheerleader do like those shake and stomps that they be doing in the South, and people in the comments, oh my God,
she invited to the cookout, let her come. And I know y'all be joking, and I know y'all be playing,
but like it's not funny.
Yeah, and just stop. And I know y'all be joking, but it's really just like we have to stop doing that, because we need to be like, oh, good job, girl. That's it. Why do y'all try to give a good job? And that's another thing too that is rooted in slavery. Like, why do we feel like we have to overextend? Because that's what we do
to our white audiences. We don't got to shook and jive for them no more, y'all.
We don't, y'all. We free.
Y'all know that, right?
Are we?
Wait, are we? I don't know. Not fully.
Not fully.
Not fully. But like, we just need to be a little more exclusive, because it's like, look where inclusivity has gotten us.
Right?
Black people are always opening their doors to other people to come in and
still be stuff. On the back burner, last in line, back of the bus.
Back of the bus. No, see China.
You could sit there and I just heard what you said. I just like, and it happens. Y'all know exactly what we are talking about, because when you walking down the street, they're not moving out your way. You hold the door for them. A lot of them aren't saying thank you, and it's not all of them, because there are some good Caucasian people. There are. But we need to stop trying to chuck and jive just because she did the whole Little Baby song. She's invited to the cookout. All you had to do was say, oh, girl, you ate that up. Because that's what you would say to me. That's what I would say to you. Like, oh, girl, you really like that song because you ate that.
You're like, oh, my God.
Right.
That was so amazing. Oh, my God. Wow. You're so invited.
Please.
Pipe down.
No, it's honestly, we need to stop doing that, because we don't have to. Why do we feel like we gotta? And like, it's not your cookout to be inviting people to. That's my other thing. And if you was really an ally, you wouldn't sit there and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to that." If you was ally, you would be like,
You'll be like, "Isn't this a little stereotypical for it to be this imaginary cookout?"
Like, I don't understand like why it's like you guys feel that we, all of us, not y'all cousins, because some of y'all get it. Cousins, as a community, we need to stop inviting these people to the cookout. That is for us, by us, and we need to keep it like that. We are allowed to have safe spaces for ourselves. We are allowed to congregate to ourselves. We are allowed. They do it all the time. Them country clubs has been there, and they always going to be there. We are allowed to have our cookouts. They got their country clubs. Let us have our cookouts. We are allowed to have spaces that are just for us. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
You think they saw something wrong with Jim Crow when they had a whites only fountain? Water. Literally water. It's water. Everybody needs water to survive. Do you think that they seen a problem with that? No.
This reminds me of Orlando Bloom. He said he got people out here buying grapes. They buying grapes in the store, y'all.
Grapes in the store, y'all. This should be free. But no, for real, like, we really do need to.
And it's in the music, and I know a lot of that. It's in the music. Yellow Bone.
We need to stop. Like, we need to stop seeking white validation. Like, I'm telling you, like we said in the last episode, you still in the cool. Like,
you are.
It really don't matter. Like, it does not matter. Like,
and we need to pour into ourselves more rather than pouring in or trying to have people pour into our community. Instead of us trying to have people pour into our community all the time, we need to just pour into ourselves.
To get back to the way that our ancestors were, when they were organizing
and buying stuff, and it was hard.
It was hard, but it's like they realized the value in keeping it within the community. Now I fear everybody just want to appeal to the white. Like I'm telling you right now, like if we got segregation back,
we would be popping. We would be popping. My 92%ers out there, to the 92%, we are locked in. We knew what time it was. We knew. They didn't know.
But it's like, I don't know if we would be that good.
I do feel like, what Dr. Umar said, some of y'all gonna have to be put to sleep. For God! Because you can't talk on the corner. We can't. Not on the corner.
Not on the corner. But yeah, like I just feel like if that was the case, like, because it's like even, like I've interacted with some people sometimes. Like, for example, I've went to this club in the city and like it was predominantly white people. Like,
me too. Shout out to in Brooklyn.
No
Love
free
it there.
promo.
Sorry. I'm a bleep that. I'm gonna cut it.
Shout out to yeah. But
me too. I
you know,
yeah.
I was like one of 6 black people in the whole establishment. And like
that's also New York for you.
Right, that is New York as well.
Where you could go there and be safe.
Right.
Feel safe, feel welcome. Oh, you didn't?
I don't know. I didn't feel safe. Homeboy next to me was, you know, getting into some
what he did?
He was getting into some things. You know,
Book of sugar?
fondling with his nose and all of that. And I just felt a little uncomfortable because it's like, oh, okay, what the hell?
Because that's not our culture.
That's not our vibe. Like, that's not what we do. Like, that's not for us.
That's not how we have a good time.
At all.
Not
and
for
I
us.
had a friend with me, and she's a black girl, and she was like, oh, like, I don't like going to black clubs. Like, they're so ghetto. And I was just so dumbfounded.
What's ghetto?
I was just so dumbfounded that, like, it was a black person
saying that
they want to be in these predominantly white spaces.
And look what they were doing there. But where we are is...
And it's just mind-boggling to me that, like, people can't recognize their internalized racism. Like, you still are seeking the validation from your white peers who are they're not even really your peers, honestly.
They're not.
And it's just like, honey, I'm not saying it's a crime to have white friends.
No, it's not.
It's not a crime to have white friends or like diverse
But you
friends.
also have to have a sense of self. You have to have a sense of your culture.
Sense of identity, and you have to be secure in your sense of identity.
Because like I said, not all black people are bad, not all white people are bad.
Right.
You just need to identify if it does get to that point that you have to leave, or, you know, and I'm not one to educate white people anymore because, you know, I just feel like I'm not the mom, I'm not the granny, I'm not the babysitter. I just don't feel like it's my job to educate you guys when we have all this technology and all these books.
Google
and
is
all
literally free.
We have all this stuff. So I don't feel like it is anybody's job to educate, but you do need to call out racism when you see it, whether it's within internalized racism within your community, right, or it's from other races outside of you. And it's our job to call all of that out, because if we are made to feel uncomfortable, why are we going around trying to make other people feel comfortable?
And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our Hear Me Out.
Stop inviting people to the cookout.
Stop inviting people to the cookout. Literally don't exist.
She said it don't exist
at all.
I know mine do, because I'm be going where my granny go.
Oh, and I'm coming too.
Right. You're invited,
cousins.
Y'all like too, cousins. Love you guys. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Cousins in the Living Room with us. As always,
be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. And most importantly,
tell a cousin to tell a cousin. Love you guys.